So there we see, substitute teacher, 6 years of experience there, 5 years of experience homeschool teacher. If you don't have leadership skills when you're a teacher, then you can't do the job. Classroom leadership, homeschool teacher, I designed my own curriculum. I was the one who designed the work. Scorer at Pearson, award for highest accuracy on one exam, and promoted to supervisor. Okay. Employee of the month at the Postal Service. I didn't also put that I got bonuses. Shift manager at Domino's. Shop assistant in the theater for, at least 3 years, teaching other students how to use the theater and guiding them in projects. Okay. And, cashier. Well, cashiers have to have basic leadership skills. And I told her I'd also been the head junior counselor when I was in high school, summer camp. So there's tons of leadership experience. Shift manager, shop assistant, homeschool teacher, substitute teacher, Caddo, substitute teacher, Linwood. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs out of 5 jobs out of 8 that are nothing but leadership, if they're nothing else. Shop assistant, shift manager, homeschool teacher, substitute teacher, and substitute teacher again. So, that is a blatant false statement to say that I don't have much leadership experience. 5 jobs out of 8 on my resume say I do. So that's falsified. That's falsified statement as well. You don't have much leadership experience. Yeah, I do. Okay. And then, what did she tell me? If I was to become a manager trainee, that I would have to promise her that I would be there, because she was going to spend a lot of money on me to be a manager trainee. And then she said she thought it would be better for me because of my situation, in my living situation with Jake, being homeless and looking for a place to live and stuff, for me to be just a breakfast cashier. Okay, I have a college degree, BA, Liberal Arts and Theater, Randolph-Macon Women's College, 4 years. What does that show when you see somebody who has a college degree? Well, the way it was explained to me was college graduates are recognized as having the skills that it takes to commit to a long-term goal and to work very diligently to achieve that goal and to do it over the long term. So that's one thing that a college diploma proves, is that somebody has the ability to commit to a goal and the persistence to stay committed until they achieve it. Caddo Parish Magnet High, the flagship #1 academic achieving school in Caddo Parish. My GPA 3.5 is not on there. So I have a stellar resume that is full of leadership skills and a proven record of achieving goals as a leader in positions that I've had. So those are all fabrications. The whole goal for the informant, the district manager in this case at Taco Bell, was to falsify testimony to say that she was looking at my resume and that, as Double-O Dumbfuck, whoever the investigator is, was listening to the interview, that her professional opinion was that I had no leadership experience or very little, and that I had worked many jobs. Are we looking at the same resume? And if you're just listening, if you're just listening, that's the black guy that lives over at Park Villa with a woman that looks like me that I've seen him with on occasion in his vehicle, and he has played all kinds of trench coat warfare games with me. Anyway, getting back to this, it's perjury. It's testifying falsely and making statements that you know aren't true and would not be reasonably considered to be true to the common man. That's common sense. 5 out of 8 positions on my resume are leadership positions. There's no way you could say that's somebody who doesn't have leadership skills. Okay, college degree. She should have had no doubt that I could do that, and I asked her about it. I told her later when we went to the store, you know, don't you think I really should have gone into the manager training program? And she said, normally, yeah, I'd welcome you right in, but, because of your situation with your son, making sure that you've got your focus where it needs to be, and, just having the situation that you're in, being homeless and stuff. She said if you started the manager training program, she told me this in the interview, it'll be 3 weeks out before you get a paycheck. And at the store, she said at the interview too, she said it'll be 3 weeks out before you get a paycheck. And then she said, and it'll be 3 weeks out before you get a paycheck too, even if you start as the breakfast cashier, but you'll be through early, and that'll give you time to go do other things. So, maybe she's looking at it as flexibility in my schedule, so I'd have more time to deal with other issues, like trying to find a place to live. So I can understand that, but what's happening is, like when I was in the office with her, the store manager and she and I were standing there, and the phone rang, and the first thing he said into the phone was, "Wait a minute," and he kind of whispered it. Then he stepped outside the door and he said hello loudly, like he hadn't just spoken to that person. He should have said, "Oh, okay. Now, what did you want to talk to me about?" or something like that. But then he said hello, like he was just answering it. So that's, and his reaction to me when I was there was, he didn't act like he knew me. And not just that he didn't know me, but it was like I was surrounded by a brick wall and he didn't see me. And he didn't look at me. And he was very solemn when he stood there by me. So there wasn't that welcoming hi, it was just like, okay, you're that person, and here, let's go through this, that type of thing. And there was the other thing too. When I first went over there and asked about employment, the first girl I talked to, she said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Are y'all hiring?" She said, "Oh yeah." She was the manager on duty at that time. She wasn't the store manager. She said, "What's your availability?" I said, "Oh, about 5 p.m. till close, and I can work any time on weekend." She said, "Oh yeah, I was just talking to the store manager, or the general manager, and she was saying how she needed people to work nights. So I know she's going to call you." And when I talked to the general manager in an interview, she called Jason, who was the manager over at Barksdale, and she said, "I'm here with Jeanette Spangler, and Jeanette's a little bit older," and he doesn't. This is what she was saying to the guy on the phone, Jason. She said, "Jeanette, and she's a little bit older, and she doesn't have that little extra that our young people have." And she told me that she'd already hired. First, she said she'd hired 29 people, then she said 23, and that she'd already hired everybody she needed, but that they were hiring all shifts over at the Barksdale store. Really? Well, I got over there and asked Victor about that, and Jason, and they both said, "Oh, our night shift is all filled." And that's what, when I asked them, I said, "Well," I told the general manager, I said, "Well, they told me that you were hiring for night shift here. She said, no, I'm awful. I'm just hired 23